Here's a real experiment that sounds like something out of a surreal sci-fi film. In the 1960s, a dolphin named Peter was part of a government-funded project, backed by NASA no less, to learn how to speak English. Yes, you heard that right. The idea was this: if dolphins are intelligent, maybe they can learn human language. And if we ever encounter aliens, understanding interspecies communication might come in handy. That was the logic, anyway. Enter neuroscientist John C. Lilly, a man fascinated by the brains of dolphins. He believed that under the right conditions, dolphins could communicate meaningfully with humans. And to test that theory, he created a research center in the US Virgin Islands, complete with flooded rooms and eager dolphins. His most famous experiment, putting a human and a dolphin together, full-time. That's where Margaret Howe Lovatt comes in. Margaret was an untrained yet passionate researcher who truly believed in the project. She volunteered to live in a partially flooded house with Peter, a young bottlenose dolphin, for 10 straight weeks. The goal? Total immersion. Just like a child picks up language by being around adults, maybe Peter could learn by being around Margaret, constantly. And Peter did start mimicking English words, sort of. He tried to say hello, and made squeaky, garbled sounds that matched the tone and rhythm of her voice. It was impressive enough that other scientists took notice. But here's where things get weird. As the days went on, Peter became emotionally attached to Margaret. Some even say he fell in love with her. He showed signs of sexual frustration, especially during the times Margaret had to interrupt their lessons. Eventually, in a move that sparked endless controversy, Margaret began manually relieving him to keep the sessions on track. She later said it was a practical solution, not a romantic one, a way to avoid the disruption and keep the research going. Still, when funding dried up, the project came to an abrupt halt. Peter was moved to a different lab, a smaller, less engaging space. There, isolated and without his human companion, Peter became depressed. And then something tragic happened. Dolphins can control their breathing, which means they can also choose not to breathe. Peter stopped resurfacing for air. In essence, he committed suicide. The story shocked the scientific community. The experiment was both groundbreaking and deeply controversial. It challenged the boundaries of interspecies relationships, raised serious ethical questions, and highlighted just how emotionally intelligent dolphins really are. So did Peter learn to speak English? Not quite. But the real takeaway wasn't in the words he spoke. It was in the emotions he expressed. And maybe that's the part of the conversation we were never ready to hear.